And breaking news right now on the WHAS 1119. Two major arrests have been made tonight in that road rage shooting on I-65 that has left a 6-year-old girl still in a wheelchair. Hello, everybody. Thanks for joining us. I'm Doug Proffitt. Now, within the past hour, we learned police arrested one man this afternoon. Here he is right here. They say he fired the shot that hit little Onyx Sands. Police say 22-year-old Edward Sark of Clarksville, Indiana, fired a handgun several times toward the car on I-65 that day carrying Onyx. It was July 10th. Police say his bullet hit her. And then the other new development, 33-year-old Shelby Biskiner of Louisville was also arrested today by LMPD. According to her arrest citation, police believe she was also on a motorcycle firing shots at the SUV with 3 children inside. Here's the background to this story. On July 10th, police say a group of 3 motorcyclists and an SUV got into a road rage incident on I-65 down near the outer loop. Police say the aggression continued off the ramp at University Boulevard at U of L when the SUV hit a motorcyclist. Biskiner and Edward Sark allegedly fired even more shots at the SUV. Again, they were both arrested today. When police arrived, they found a handgun on Biskiner and also a man named Jonathan Rivera that matched shell casings. Rivera is also charged in connection to the shooting. The 6-year-old was rushed to the hospital by her father, her spinal cord severed. WHAS 11 was there when she was released, now 3 months later. Onyx Sands, released from the Fraser Rehab Institute on August 18th. Her mother, China, said the path to get here was a miracle. A wheelchair might be her new normal, but her doctors say she never lost her light.
My daughter's spirit is what's keeping me strong. So everyone comments, you're so strong, I don't know what I would do. How can I be sad and down about a situation that she's optimistic about?
Biskiner is charged with wanton endangerment. Rivera is also charged with possession of a handgun by a felon. He is not charged with the shooting. And now tonight, Edward Sark is charged with first-degree assault and 4 counts of wanton endangerment. This is a developing story. We hope to hear more from Metro Police tomorrow about these major arrests in this ongoing case. There's more developing news to tell you about tonight. A man is dead, shot by officers in Marengo, Indiana. That's 45 minutes west of Louisville. Indiana State Police say just after 4 this afternoon, Crawford County Sheriff's Office and the English, Indiana Police Department were serving an emergency detention order. That's an order to detain somebody who is mentally ill or a danger to themselves and others. Police say they went to a house to find 49-year-old Bernie Breeding, but when they went inside, police say Breeding was pointing a gun at them. An officer fired, hitting Breeding and killing him. Indiana State Police are investigating this case. New tonight, a proposed ordinance could crack down on pet sales right here in Louisville. It would directly affect one store on Hurstbourne Parkway. Puppygram sells puppies from breeders, but one council member in Louisville believes there should be more oversight for this expensive business. WHAS 1119's Taylor Woods and photojournalist Ian Hardwitt were at the Louisville Metro Council meeting where the ordinance was introduced. They're joining us live now from City Hall. And Taylor, you also got a statement from the Puppygram business tonight.
Yes, Doug. Well, this is an ordinance that Councilman Stuart Benson introduced. It could possibly change the retail sale of dogs and cats in pet stores and outdoor spaces. I spoke to some people who support it and those that are against it.
The retail sale of dogs and cats in Louisville pet stores and outdoor spaces like flea markets could change by a possible new Metro ordinance. It's the topic of discussion in front of Louisville's Metro Council.
This is the regularly scheduled meeting of the Public Safety Committee.
Some people for it and some against it.
Why would we move to a negative, restrictive ordinance? You know, you can't sell puppies.
This ordinance would ban stores like Puppygram on Hurstbourne Parkway from selling pets inside their stores. In a statement, Puppygram said, quote, "We are against any ordinance that would reduce individuals' rights to choose where to obtain their pet, whether that be a shelter, rescue league, or Puppygram. We believe this ordinance would discriminate against individuals that may have illnesses or mental health issues from having a puppy bred with certain temperaments and characteristics as an emotional support service dog." They went on to say, "We strongly oppose puppy mills." The state director of the Kentucky Humane Society, Todd Blevins, supports the proposed ordinance.
There are bad breeders in Louisville. This ordinance is designed to try to crack down on some of that abuse by some of the worst actors out there.
Nina Scott, president of the Golden Retriever Rescue Group called Grant, also took the floor sharing her thoughts.
Puppy mills do not abide by this. They will breed a dog until she can no longer carry a litter.
Metro Council leaders listened carefully, some even asking questions of those in support of the ordinance.
My biggest concern is that we're potentially penalizing the people on the back end rather than going at the source, which is the puppy mills themselves.
In the end, one audience member, Jeff Cavalcante, feels this ordinance is one-sided.
If you read their legislation, they're pretty hard about saying pet stores sell sick animals. And that's not necessarily true.
However, Blevins says this ordinance would make a significant impact in puppy mill puppies in the Louisville area.
When a pet store sells puppies that are coming from puppy mills, they are becoming sick frequently.
And tonight, this ordinance was tabled for discussion, which means it will be considered at the next public safety meeting. Reporting live in downtown Louisville, Taylor Woods, WHAS 11 Night Team on your side.
Taylor, thank you. More local news tonight here on the Night Team. A man pleaded guilty to a 2020 murder and is now sentenced to 30 years in prison. Antoine Dunn pleaded guilty to the killing of 65-year-old Aaron Baker while he was asleep in a car. The shooting happened in the Taylor Berry neighborhood. He also pleaded guilty to firing 10 rounds into a home with 4 people inside in July of 2020. Dunn is not eligible for probation. The FBI has arrested a 32-year-old man from Jeffersonville for his actions during the Capitol riot of January 6, 2021. Curtis Logan Tate is charged with civil disorder and assaulting officers using a deadly or dangerous weapon. Federal investigators say Tate was caught on camera hitting multiple officers in Washington with a metal baton, throwing property at officers and right through windows. He is one of more than 1,100 people now facing charges in connection to the deadly Capitol riot. A massive FBI operation underway today across Louisville, crossed both sides of the Ohio River actually, and the federal agency serving warrants all across Metro Louisville, taking 26 people into custody. The FBI is calling it Operation Frozen River. A federal grand jury issued 34 indictments for Louisville and Southern Indiana residents, and you can see the large group right here on your screen, the large group of suspects, people ranging from 23 years old to 55 years old, all across Kentuckiana. Now, we were tipped to one of the locations where the FBI centered their attention today. This is Northwestern Parkway in the Portland neighborhood. It is centered around 4 different indictments involving meth, fentanyl, and illegal guns. The first investigation starting January of 2021. There are 8 people police do not yet have in custody, and you're looking at them on your screen right now. The 26 people in custody had court appearances today or tomorrow coming up. Now, if convicted, the 26 people in custody face at least a 10-year prison sentence. Also new today, police have released the first photograph, you're seeing it right now, of the man they believe could be behind that string of attacks against women in PRP and Valley Station. LMPD sharing these 6 surveillance images today of the suspected serial robber that they've been looking for in southwest Jefferson County. Police say this man is connected to at least 6 attacks, 1 attempted robbery, and there could be more victims. And still no decision tonight on burning down that dangerous house in Highview on Applegate Lane, but the city says it's preparing for that option anyway. The EPA remains at a neighboring home on Applegate Lane, removing mercury. We heard from the EPA for the first time today.
It's a slow, methodical process that takes a lot of time and effort and a lot of work by our contractors to just be as focused as they can while they work it. It's hard to find sometimes.
At that neighboring house today, Chuck Berry, the EPA, described visible beads of mercury found on site and detected with air monitoring devices. This week, the EPA will be removing the entire driveway of the home, cleaning tile, and eventually removing the carpeting. Meantime, on the house full of dangerous chemicals right next door, Berry did rule out removing the dangerous chemicals manually, saying it would not be safe. He did talk about another option, mechanically removing the chemicals by first tearing down the house around them. The city, though, still prefers to burn down the house. It's one of the most well-traveled portions of interstate through Kentucky and Louisville. Major renovations are soon coming to I-65 between downtown and the Ohio River, right down south of the Waterston Expressway. The governor says many of the overpasses are showing their age, leading to a rehab project that's expected to break ground before next July. The project team is working on a game plan to speed up the construction schedule and, more importantly, cut down on lane closures during the road work.
That may mean, for example, working some overtime hours. It may be often 24/7 in some aspects of the project in order to keep the corridor open and functioning.
Jim Gray, the Kentucky Transportation Secretary, says they hope to hit the ground running on phase 1 within the next 9 months. All new tonight on the night team. Well, you've been asking for the school bus drop-off times for students going home this week. So tonight we asked the JCPS Superintendent Marty Polio after tonight's school board meeting. He told us students are right now being dropped off before 7 p.m. at night. Now, parents' concerns are switching to a new problem: overcrowded school buses. Polio says that issue cuts right to the heart of the problem.
Yes, we can reduce the amount of kids on a bus, but then we're going to have to stop transporting certain kids. I mean, there is no other way around it. I mean, that is what we've gotten down to. The heart of this whole thing is, you know, if we're going to improve efficiencies, we're going to have to make some tough decisions on who gets transported to school.
The superintendent restating again tonight that they are now watching the weeks ahead, and when we possibly make any major changes around the fall break, that's the first week in October. Big school districts across the country right now have already made the choice to only transport kids within a certain distance of the schools they attend.